the crunch of those pecans and the tartness of those cherries and the little chill of the butter. Oh my God, that's to die for. I felt like making bread today. So today I'm making a healthy spelt baguette, and it's really easy. It's healthy because I'm using spelt flour, and I'm gonna put in some dried cherries, chopped up pecans, and some sunflower seeds because that's gonna make it even healthier. So I can't wait because I wanna eat these and I want you guys to try these. So let's get started. We're just gonna do the kneading by hand, so I'm using a rather large bowl, even though there's not that many ingredients. But we're gonna start with the water, and we're gonna add that in. And of course, our yeast is next. And hopefully you guys have watched my yeast video, whether you should be using instant or active, but this is instant. And when you use instant yeast, you don't have to wait. That's what I love about it. It seems to work the best, and you don't have to wait. You can just start putting your ingredients in. Some people say wait 5 minutes because they want to see it bubble and make sure it's working. But you know what? It's always worked for me. So I've learned to trust it. As long as your yeast in the freezer isn't more than a year old, then I think you don't have to wait. So that's our yeast in our water, and the next is our salt and our olive oil. We're just adding a little. It just makes the dough easier to manage and keeps it moist. I love the color when I add olive oil in there. Now we're going to add our flour. I'm using 100% spelt flour, whole grain spelt. Normally when I do this, I do it with a little bit of all-purpose flour, but I'm doing it today with all spelt. Time to get our hands in the bowl. I always like to put a little flour on my hands if I need to just continue the kneading process, but we need the dough to get smoother. If you can see, it's still a little bit shaggy, and as you knead it a little more, you'll see it gets smoother. And it's always best to use the heel of your hand. And can you see it's already getting to be a smoother dough? See that? We're going to keep going. So you use the heel of your hand and you push away from you. Fold it over, push away from you. And if you have a stand mixer, feel free to do it in there, but a lot of people like to do it by hand. It's very therapeutic making bread. And can you see it really transforms the dough? Can you see how nice and smooth that is? I think we're just about there. Look at the difference in that. That looks really nice. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're gonna wait 10 minutes because that's gonna give time for the dough to transform. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but just mix flour and water together and cover it and come back and look how different it's gonna be. The gluten strands just totally relax and it's really helpful. So yes, I could put this in right now, but it's really important in making bread. Just spend 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, and just let that dough relax and absorb all the moisture because that's really gonna transform the dough. Okay, 10 minutes is up, and now it's time to add our fruit and nuts and seeds. Look at how that dough has changed already. Can you see? Wow, that's so incredible. I love making bread so much. It's really an art. It's so fun. And I really hope to infect you guys with the passion for bread. It's so incredible. I'm doing this with regular yeast today. I do a lot of sourdough stuff, but a lot of people don't have a sourdough starter, and then I feel like they won't make the recipe if they don't have it. But you can always use sourdough. That's beautiful. Look at the color of that spelt. And with that fruit and nuts, that's incredible. So now we're gonna sprinkle a little flour on the bench here. Take out our dough. Sprinkle a little flour on the top. Not much, just very little. And we're gonna flatten this puppy out. We're gonna lose some of these cherries, but we're just gonna keep pushing them in. And now we're using our dough scraper for a cut. We're just gonna go. Just gonna eyeball it. Okay, and now we're going to do what we always do to put them in a little ball. You're always just gonna tuck under. So let's go this way. You want the sticky side always underneath. So you just keep bringing it around. If you want to do it towards yourself, you just go like this and you just tuck those fruit in there. If they stick out, don't worry about it. But you keep bringing the edges in. Okay, there's one. And you just go around and do that with all of them. Take the flour on the top side and always keep that, the sticky side you're folding on so that these edges grab, and the flour side is always going to stay on the surface. We're just going to use our bowl to cover these, and I'm going to put my towel over, and we just need another 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes, then we're going to shape them, and then they have to go on the tray and double in size, which might take about an hour. But let's just let this rest for 10 minutes. Time to take a look. I like to keep these covered so they don't dry out. Okay, and now to shape them, you're going to push down, and you kind of want to make them into a football shape. A little bit of an oblong, because we're making baguette shaped rolls. So you want to get them a little bit long. We're going to roll it, so you want to take this edge and you roll it like this and you press it down, and then you fold these edges in a little, and then you roll it and press it down. Roll it, press it down, and then we got to roll it in again. And for this edge, it's good to make this flat so that it seals easier when you roll it up. So now we roll this in and over and press it down and press it down, and you'll see it makes it just easier, this edge. If you get it nice and thin, the thinner you can get it, the easier this seals. And you're just trying to seal this whole thing up. That's looking good. And then we're going to lay this on here. Time to cover these and let them rise until they're doubled in size, which depends on the temperature of your kitchen and the humidity, but it's 1 to 2 hours likely. Perfect timing because my timer just went off and it's been 1 hour because I just wanted to check after 1 hour, and they're looking good. They're doubled in size. So now we're gonna put them in the oven. I've had it preheating at 425. They're gonna go in for about 20 minutes, but I'm gonna use my special bread slicing tool. It's called a lame or a lame. I don't know how you say it, but it's beautiful and really easy. And we're just gonna make some nice cuts. And the last thing I wanna do is I just wanna take a little bit of flour and just sprinkle it on the top. And now in the oven they go. They're smelling really good, and you know they're hot. And bread, you're supposed to wait, but I don't want to wait. I want to stick these in here and see how they're doing. So let's give it a try. I'm waiting. There's a cherry on the top and there's a piece of a cherry and a pecan right there. That sour cherry. Wow. That's fantastic. I like the Spelt even better than the whole wheat. It's not quite as grainy, but it's still really earthy. I want to try it with a little butter. And you can see there's a cherry right there. Man, I've been really craving something homemade and bread-like, and this hits the spot. This is really fantastic. And as I always say, warm bread and cold butter doesn't get any better than that. That is so good, you guys. It's really like bread with these little surprises. You know, normally when you see something with dried fruit and nuts, you think of fruit cake. This is not at all like a cake. It's bread. It's a baguette, but it's not going to be like a true baguette or like a French baguette because I didn't use bread flour and I didn't use white flour. So it's going to be like much softer, but it still has a nice crusty shell. See if you can hear. Can you hear? So it has a nice crusty shell, but it's not going to be like stretchy and chewy unless you use bread flour. You can do the same recipe with all-purpose flour, but if you want it a little more chewy with a chewier crust, then you need to use bread flour. But I did this on purpose because it's bread, but it's like a dessert with those little sour cherry surprises in there. Oh my God. That's amazing. Winner. That's so good. To me, I don't feel guilty eating a roll like this because they're so filled with healthy spelt flour and pecans and sour cherries. It's so delicious, and it's just a great little afternoon treat. Or you can cut them open and stuff them with avocado and tomato or whatever you want to put in there, but they're so good plain or just plain with butter. So that's my recipe for the day, and I hope you guys love it. They're so good and they're beautiful. Look how nice. They're so nice. Fresh bread in your house. The smell is delicious. The taste is delicious, and your stomach will thank you. All right, you guys. And by the way, thank you to all of those who are subscribing in the last 2 weeks. I so appreciate it. I gotta get to 1,000, maybe by my birthday in June, all right, you guys? So tell your friends. I'm halfway there now. All right, I'll see you next time. My God, that's so good.